This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. The Valley of Lost Children by David Barbur. 1. Katie was a librarian. It wasn't her job to look for missing children. She did it anyway. She told herself she was just going for a drive, but she knew it wasn't true. She left the city behind and was soon on gravel roads in the state forest. The little car handled poorly on the loose gravel, so she slowed down and gripped the steering wheel tighter. The forests of Washington state weren't her element. She'd grown up on the East Coast in a family she often referred to as avid, indoors people. It would be dark soon. A thundercloud bruised the western sky. Katie looked at her cell phone. No service. She had a water bottle and a half-eaten granola bar. As the temperature outside dropped before the oncoming storm, she regretted not bringing a sweater. Since moving here, she'd meant to buy an emergency kit for her car, but every payday she'd put it off one more time. The road ended in a closed gate. She looked at the Washington state road map open on the seat beside her. Many of the roads up here didn't even appear on her phone. Cell phone mapping had left her long out of practice reading paper maps. She carefully retraced her turns from the paved road and located her spot on the map. Earlier, Katie had passed Natalie's ramshackle house, where a lone sheriff's truck sat outside. Natalie's mother had called, sounding drunk, or at least hungover, to see if anyone had seen her 7-year-old daughter at the little library branch in the town of Yakult. Natalie's mother was confused about what day it was, as the branch was only staffed on Wednesday, and today was Monday. Katie was miles from Natalie's house, with alternating stands of dense trees and clear cuts in between. There were dozens of forest roads up here. Most of them ended in dead ends. Some were too rough for her car. She'd been driving for hours, meticulously marking each road with a highlighter as she looked for Natalie. "I should leave," she said. She had a quarter tank of gas left and hadn't eaten dinner. She thought about Natalie. The little girl would ride her bike for miles, just to come into the self-service library branch on the days when Katie stocked it with books. She'd sit in the corner for hours, devouring the new books Katie brought. Katie tried to keep a professional distance from all the kids at the branch, but there was something about Natalie that tugged at her. The kid was special, smart beyond her years, and seemed like an old soul in a young body. At least it was easy to turn around in her little car. As she bounced down the road, she felt sick to her stomach. She slowed to check the map one last time. Maybe there was a side road she'd missed, something she could check on the way out. Katie was grateful she slowed down, because a big brown, knobby need shape materialized before her. She slammed on the brakes, and had just enough time to catch a flash of a white rump patch as the huge animal dove into the thick bushes on the side of the road. Swallowing hard past the lump in her throat, she tried to figure out what she'd just seen. Too big to be a deer, she thought. An elk. That must be what an elk looks like. She started driving again, slower this time. The sky opened up. 1 second, she could see, the next the rain blinded her. Even with the wipers going, she could barely move at a walking speed. The rain reflected the glare from her headlights. She turned on public radio to distract herself. She told herself she would drive to the main road, and she would be fine. A shape appeared out of the gloom, and Katie braked, thinking it was another animal. She was only a few feet from it when she realized it wasn't. It was a little girl. It was Natalie. Wet, bedraggled blonde hair trailed behind her as she ran across the road. She wore mismatched pajamas and only one rubber boot. She ran across the road, seeming not even to notice the car that slid to a stop only a foot from her. She disappeared into the tree line on the other side of the road. Katie barely remembered to put the car in park before she jumped out. "Natalie!" she screamed. A rumble of thunder answered. Katie looked at her phone. Still no service. Think, she said to herself. She could drive to a place with a cell signal. She could drive back to Natalie's house, where there was a phone and maybe still a sheriff's deputy. She looked up and down the road, trying to find some way to mark this spot.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.